41 years. That's how long we were married. 41 summers. 41 winters. Thousands of ordinary mornings. And yet, it took one sentence, spoken in a hospital room that smelled like antiseptic and silence, to make me realize I had misunderstood love for most of my life. Her last sentence opened my eyes. But by the time they opened, it was too late. The hospital room. The machines were quieter than I expected. People always describe hospital rooms as loud. Beeping monitors, footsteps in the hallway, whispers of nurses. But when you're sitting beside the love of your life, counting her breaths, everything else fades. It becomes just you, and time. She looked smaller in that bed. Not weaker, just smaller. As if life had gently folded her inward. Her hands, once warm and steady, now rested lightly in mine. I had held those hands for 41 years. Or at least, I thought I had. We weren't a perfect couple. We didn't have a dramatic love story. No grand proposals in the rain. No cinematic arguments followed by passionate reconciliations. We were ordinary. We met young. Married young. Built everything from nothing. Small apartment. Second-hand furniture. Shared dreams. I worked long hours. She managed the home. Later, she worked too. We told ourselves we were a team. And in many ways, we were. But looking back now, I see something I refused to see then. We were surviving together. Not always living together. The early years. In the beginning, I adored her. Every little thing felt magical, her laugh, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the softness in her voice when she said my name. I couldn't imagine a future without her. But love, when it becomes familiar, can start to feel ordinary. And when something feels ordinary, we stop treating it like a miracle. I still loved her. But I stopped showing it the way I once did. Compliments became rare. Surprises disappeared. Conversations became practical. Bills. Plans. Responsibilities. Love shifted from passion to routine. And routine can quietly turn into distance. The provider trap. Like many men, I believed my primary job was to provide. If the bills were paid, if the house was secure, if our children had opportunities, I was doing my duty. That's what I told myself. And every time she seemed distant, I reminded myself. I'm doing this for us. But here's the truth I understand now. Providing financially is not the same as being emotionally present. She didn't need a hero. She needed a partner. The subtle signs. She tried to tell me, not in dramatic confrontations, but in small ways. Can we spend more time together? You're always so tired. Do you even hear me? At the time, I interpreted those words as complaints. Now I understand they were invitations. Invitations to reconnect. Invitations I declined, over and over again, because I was busy. Busy building a future. Busy chasing security. Busy assuming there would always be more time. The 20-year mark. Around our 20th anniversary, something changed. Not suddenly. Gradually. Our conversations became shorter. Our laughter less frequent. We stopped arguing, which I thought was a good sign. But sometimes, silence isn't peace. It's surrender. We were polite. Respectful. Functional. But something warm had cooled. And instead of confronting it, I buried myself deeper in work. If something feels uncomfortable, distraction is the easiest escape. The night she cried. I remember one night clearly. The kids were asleep. The house was quiet. She was sitting on the edge of the bed. Crying softly. I asked what was wrong. She hesitated. Then she said, "I miss you." I laughed gently and said, "I'm right here." She shook her head. "No. I miss the man who used to look at me like I mattered." Those words should have shaken me. They should have stopped me in my tracks. But instead of reflecting, I defended myself. I work hard for this family. I'm exhausted. Life isn't a movie. And just like that, I turned her vulnerability into an argument. That was the moment I began wasting years. Time moves quietly. The dangerous thing about drifting apart is that it doesn't feel urgent. There's no explosion. No dramatic ending. Just small disconnections. One missed date night becomes a year without intimacy. One ignored conversation becomes emotional distance. And before you realize it, you're roommates. Not lovers. The children grew. Our children grew up. They left home. The house became quiet again, like it was in the beginning. Except this time, the silence felt heavier. There were no distractions left. Just the two of us. And years of things unsaid. We ate dinner across from each other. Watched television in separate chairs. Went to bed at the same time. But lived in separate emotional worlds. Why I thought everything was fine. From the outside, we were successful. Stable marriage. No scandal. No public conflict. Friends admired us. "You two are solid," they'd say. And I believed it. Because I confused stability with intimacy. But a relationship can survive. And still be starving. The diagnosis. When she was diagnosed, everything changed overnight. Cancer. The word felt unreal. Like it belonged to someone else's life. Suddenly, work didn't matter. Meetings didn't matter. Deadlines didn't matter. I canceled everything. Cleared my schedule. Sat beside her in hospitals and clinics. For the first time in decades. I was fully present. And it terrified me. Because I realized how long it had been since I truly looked at her. Seeing her again. Without the noise of life, I began to notice her again. The strength in her eyes. The quiet resilience. The way she still smiled at nurses, even when she was in pain. I started telling her things I hadn't said in years. "You're beautiful. I'm proud of you. Thank you for everything." She would smile gently. But there was something in her eyes. Not anger. Not bitterness. Just a quiet sadness. As if she appreciated the words. But knew they came late. The last week. In her final week, the doctor stopped pretending. We both knew. The room felt smaller. Time felt louder. Every breath felt precious. I stayed beside her day and night. Holding her hand. Whispering memories. Apologizing for small things. For big things. For wasted evenings. For emotional distance. She listened. Sometimes she squeezed my hand. Sometimes she just closed her eyes. And then, on the final night, she said the sentence that changed everything. Her last sentence. Her voice was weak. Almost a whisper. I leaned in close so I wouldn't miss a word. She looked at me. Not with anger. Not with blame. Just honesty. And she said, "I never wanted more from you. I just wanted more of you." That was it. Not dramatic. Not cruel. Just truth. And in that moment, 41 years replayed in my mind. The nights I chose work over her. The times I dismissed her feelings. The years I assumed love would survive without attention. I thought I had been a good husband. But I had been an absent one. The weight of realization. She passed away the next morning. And I was left alone. With a sentence echoing in my mind. I just wanted more of you. Not more money. Not more security. Not a bigger house. Just more presence. More conversation. More connection. And the painful truth is, I could have given that. It wouldn't have cost me anything. Except my ego. Except my distractions. Except my illusion of importance. 41 years. When I say I wasted 41 years, I don't mean our entire marriage was empty. There were beautiful moments. Laughter. Vacations. Birthdays. Small joys. But layered within all of it was a pattern of emotional absence. I loved her. But I loved my responsibilities more. I loved her. But I assumed she would always be there. An assumption is one of the most dangerous habits in a relationship. If you're listening, if you're hearing my story right now, I want you to pause. Think about the person you love most. When was the last time you looked at them, truly looked? When was the last time you listened without checking your phone? When was the last time you chose connection over distraction? Don't wait for a hospital room to teach you what matters. Don't wait for final words to open your eyes. Because sometimes, there isn't enough time left to fix it. The house felt wrong after the funeral. Not empty. Wrong. As if something essential had been removed and everything else was pretending nothing had changed. Her shoes were still by the door. Her cup still sat near the sink. Her scarf hung behind the bedroom door. Every object accused me. Not loudly. Quietly. And quiet regret is the heaviest kind. The days after. People think grief arrives as tears. Sometimes it does. But for me, grief arrived as silence. A long, stretching silence that followed me from room to room. Friends came. Family came. They brought food, condolences, and well-meaning phrases. She's in a better place. You did your best. At least you had many years together. I nodded. I thanked them. But inside, one sentence drowned out everything else. I just wanted more of you. The funeral is not the end. The funeral lasts a few hours. Grief lasts a lifetime. After everyone left, after the chairs were folded and the flowers began to wilt, reality settled in. This was it. There would be no more chances. No more late apologies. No more, I'll do better tomorrow. Tomorrow had ended. The hardest truth. She never stopped loving me. She just stopped expecting. And that is the most dangerous moment in any relationship. When someone stops asking. They are already grieving. What grief teaches. Grief strips life down to essentials. It teaches you what was real. And what was noise. I realized I had spent decades reacting to urgency, emails, deadlines, responsibilities, while ignoring importance. Importance whispers. Urgency screams. And I listened to the wrong voice. The 3 changes I wish I made earlier. If I could send a message back through time, it wouldn't be complicated. It would be simple. Painfully simple. 1. I wish I had listened without defending. Every time she expressed pain, I explained myself. I thought understanding required justification. It doesn't. Sometimes love means listening without correcting. Without proving. Without winning. I wish I had understood that being right is rarely as important as being kind. 2. I wish I had shown love in ordinary moments. I thought love needed special occasions. Anniversaries. Gifts. Vacations. But love is built in ordinary minutes. Sitting together without distraction. Asking questions and waiting for answers. Choosing presence over productivity. Love is not loud. It is consistent. 3. I wish I had treated time as fragile. I acted as if time was endless. As if years were renewable. They are not. Time is not money. You can't earn it back. Every "not now" is a permanent decision. And I made too many of them. Living with the lesson. I can't change the past. But I can carry the lesson forward. I speak differently now. I listen fully. I don't rush conversations. I don't delay affection. I tell people what they mean to me, immediately. Because words unspoken don't echo. They disappear. To anyone still reading. If you still have the person you love. You are rich. If you still have time. You are lucky. Don't wait for final words to wake you up. Don't assume love can survive neglect. Don't believe silence means everything is fine. Ask. Listen. Be present. Because one day, the house may be quiet. And the lesson may arrive without a chance to apply it. The sentence that lives with me. Her last sentence did not haunt me forever. It taught me. Painfully. Completely. And if her words can save even one person from learning too late. Then they still have life in them. I never wanted more from you. I just wanted more of you. Please. Give the people you love. More of you. Before time decides you.